Welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, from the Bay to LA. And tonight, we're talking Planet X. And what is this giant blue orb shining through the clouds? Tonight! Oh man, it's crazy. So, as the skies clear up, the rain starts to dry, you have found another episode of Dark Skies Podcast. So make yourself comfortable. We'll be back in a few moments. What a day, what a day. Trying to dry out after all this rain. It's incredible. I mean, the change in the weather that we've experienced over the past, couple of months. When we were in drought-like conditions, and now things seems to did a full turn, and now we're getting all kinds of rain and weather, and oh man. I mean, it wasn't storming or nothing bad. It's just, guess we got to get used to being tropical again. Oh man, I'm your host, LC Grace. We got Mikey Nice, Jim, Jennifer, Charles, Becky. The whole crew is involved tonight, and we got pictures coming in because the Skywatch, of course, going on tonight. And, holiday weekend, Memorial Day, and, everything's going on. A little bit of rain. So this is what we got going on here on the West Coast. But it's crazy because looking up at the sky tonight, we got, a good visual of what seemed to be like a blue orb or a giant blue, light, or a light source. But some of the team members was like, oh man, maybe, it's the blue Kachina, or, Planet X, or, one of the planets that's, connected to the system. Well, I don't know. I mean, it is an amazing picture as you look at the night sky and you see the clouds and you see, something, behind the clouds, burning bright, of course. And it just makes you wonder, what's up there? I mean, so many people spend so much time looking down, looking around, looking forward, looking back, looking, everywhere but up. So we got the Skywatcher team and Skywatcher team all over the country, from Los Angeles to New York, Virginia, Florida, Texas, all the way up to Illinois and Michigan, Canada. But yeah, we also get a lot of pictures and videos and stuff coming in from south of the border, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Guadalajara. So yeah, it's amazing when you start to, really start to put this stuff together. Then I tell y'all about, how the weather, is changing, and it has to be something that account for, what they are calling global warming and, this and that. So, we look at the skies and hope to, answer some of these questions. I mean, if there's a Planet X or a Planet X system, it should be visible, right? And actually by now it should be visible with the naked eye. But, so many things are being done, with our skies that, we're not actually able to, see what's going on up there, with the exception of little clues here and there. Lights in the sky or, something behind the clouds, shining. And you get that a lot. I mean, you wonder, what it is, because once the clouds move away, there's nothing. And you expect to see something, because, the clouds are not there forever, right? So it's crazy because, you want to try to make sense of it. It's nighttime. The sun is set. It's like 9:50, 10 o'clock at night. And you see, the clouds moving. And you see what can't be the moon. The moon don't shine blue. It can't be a plane, it's far too big for that. And it's not moving. So you see the clouds moving and you just want to know, what it is. I mean, there's no explanation. So, of course, we head to Twitter. How many people seen it? Is it reported on the news? No. The media don't never cover this stuff. They leave it up to us and, I guess it's our wacky theories. But, I call them sky mysteries because, it's mysterious and we don't know what it is. And it's up there in the sky. It's clearly something there. But, it's hard to make sense of it. It's hard to figure out what it is because it's not always there. It's not always visible. When the clouds are gone, it's gone. So, I don't know. But we took the pictures though, even though, because, something's there, and you want to try to explain it. And this is my attempt to do so. And of course, it's not easy because, the clouds are clearing up and same object that, we're photographing and hoping to see once the clouds move away. It's not visible now. So you're left with even more questions. I mean, what was it? What is it? Was it a UFO? Possibly, a UFO in the clouds, shining bright, but you can't really see it because of clouds. But then you would have to think that, if you look at the picture, it would have to be a pretty large UFO. I mean, large. So we used the title for this podcast, what is it? Is it Planet X? Is it a giant blue planet? I mean, I don't know. We're only left with, guesses, because there's no answers, there's no research, there's no, active study going on, with the exception of us and what we do. And we look up and we see it and we take pictures of it and we talk about it and, we do the podcast and try to spread the word. Hey, something up there, try to, get some feedback from the rest of the world and see what they think. But in the end, we just don't come no closer to identifying some of these things that are directly above our heads. And I was going to take a picture today of the beautiful rainbow over LA. I'm tired of rainbows. It was a dual rainbow, though. I mean, one of them's really clear and another one just a little bit off, and they both was right there. But I remember thinking to myself as I was looking at the rainbows that, wow, I can't remember, rainbows being so detailed. I mean, high definition. I mean, I'm looking at it and I can see the colors of the rainbow so clearly. It's almost like it's on a television screen or something. It's just there. So I just look at the sky and I'm like, wow, the sky is so incredible. Parts of the sky is dark and parts is light. You get this strange cloud movement. Look like you got dual atmospheres up there. It's just crazy. Then you get, scientists tell you, we got the atmospheric rivers. Then you got, these horrible tornadoes and strong storms, hitting, the middle part of the country. But, there's never no explanation of, why all this is happening. You just get a broad statement like global warming. Well, last I checked, global warming is an effect. And, I'm more interested in causes. What's causing it? What's causing all this weather, massive earthquakes, volcanic, activity around the planet? Same thing that I've been predicting over the last, 4, 5, 6 years, maybe even a decade. That, there's going to be evidence, evidence that, people can't, deny. Undeniable evidence of, something up there. But still, with all the evidence that we have, it's still deniable, right? People are still not, hip to the fact that, it's things happening, the strange, unexplainable. Or maybe there's nobody even trying to explain it. I mean, how many people looked up tonight and saw, the blue orb up in the clouds? We took the picture so you can see it. We took multiple pictures, of course. Because we sky watchers, and we love to, look at the sky. Even though we don't have stars to look at. It's strange in itself. I remember seeing that sky full of stars. Because I've been looking at the sky since I was a child. I mean, I've always been fascinated with what's up there. What could be up there. So, yeah, I looked up a lot. I remember being a Boy Scout. I mean, we went camping and sleeping outside and looking up at the stars. Seeing the shooting stars, and you could see almost out there into space. It was just out there. You could see space. Now it's just, I don't know, it's a sky, a nighttime sky. It's missing all the stars that, I'm used to seeing. Because there used to be a bunch of stars and the constellations, and the constellations just shined a little bit brighter. That's what made them constellations. So, I don't know. Now it's only the constellations, extra stars. But maybe because I'm in the city, maybe I need to go out into the desert. But I remember being able to see. But anyway, looking up at the sky and I see these clouds and they're moving and it's nighttime and, this orb is just shining. And I'm asking myself, is it a UFO? What is it? But it's big. It's like, I don't know. It's too big to be considered a UFO, but maybe it is. I don't know. Because we're still out and we have people looking up and there's nothing out there now. So whatever it is, it's not visible at this moment. But it was quite visible earlier. And for, I would say up to an hour, I observed it. So it's strange, man. I mean, when things can happen right above our heads and there's never no explanation, no discussion, there's no media coverage, there's nobody talking. What if it was a Russian spy plane or something? I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to, spread the Russian propaganda. I like Russia. I like everybody in the world because, you know, I'm a world citizen and I understand that, there are other people in the world other than Americans. There's other people in the world other than black people. There's a whole wide world. So yeah, I enjoy being a part of it and learning about it and seeing what's happening. I pray for the people of Peru. I know they're going through it, even though the media don't cover it. I know, what's happening around the world. I mean, I've seen it. I know it was coming. I see it happening right before my eyes. And I talk about it, and, I cover it. And I hope that people, who follow this podcast, understand that, we only deal in the things that, that we can, that we can see, that we can handle, that, the rest of the world don't pay attention to. And it's important. I mean, because tell me if something above our heads, and, something like a planet, and we're not seeing it, or there's somebody blocking it, or there's some type of cover up or something going on. I mean, I'm not the type of person to spill secrets. I'm just looking up and I see something and I'm talking about it. It's pretty crazy though, man. I can't say it enough because every time I look up, I mean, I see something different. I see something strange. And that's the whole reason for the Skywatch. I mean, the Skywatch is to give the world an opportunity to understand what's above our heads. I mean, we don't know what's in the oceans. We don't know what's below the surface of the ground, right? Deep in the earth. So we go with theories and we go with, just, very smart people looking and giving their opinions on something that, other people probably would never even pay attention to. Bringing attention to it. But, even in the end, you don't even bring too much attention because a lot of people, have their own things to do, right? They don't have their own lives, their own interests. So if I tell them, we have like 2 sets of cloud formations moving opposite directions at, different altitudes, that just seems strange. And what are you talking about, LC? So it's hard because I'm trying to show people something and I'm trying to talk to you about it. And it's just either it's beyond your comprehension or it's beyond my comprehension, or I'm not articulating it correctly, or maybe something's missing. Something's being lost in the translation. Because there's something clearly there. We're taking pictures and we're talking about these pictures. But still, we're not generating no attention, right? So how many earthquakes have to happen? How many, strange weather events do we have to endure? How many pictures do we have to take of objects in the sky? Before people start to take notice. Before eyebrows are raised. Before people start to listen. The right people, right? Because, if we the wrong people, then when are the right people going to actually start to get involved and, start to answer some of these questions? Clouds are not supposed to move this way. Or whatever that is, it's supposed to, it's not supposed to be there. Or it's nighttime, there's nothing should be lighting the sky up like that. Or whatever it is behind the clouds, I don't know. But there's something there. It could be a light from the ground shining up, right? But, it would be some type of evidence. So we're left with, trying to, come up with these hard answers on our own. Us non-scientists. But, there are scientists around the world, though, that are, a part of our community and people who are interested in some of the things that, we're covering because, hey, it's interesting, to say the very least. But at the same time, it affects people, a large amount of people, if not all of us. So what's above our heads, who knows? But we know it's something there. It doesn't add up. And I look at the clouds move, and they just don't move right. They move this way, they move that way. It's like they had their mind of their own. And it's not even chemtrails. It's just a natural, I don't know, whatever. It's just hard to explain. But I do spend time trying to. I spend days and hours and years and weeks and, countless study and research hours, just trying to come up with, a viable theory or something to try to explain, but sometimes it's unexplainable. I'm pointing out stuff that people, normally probably would never even pay attention to. So what's moving through the sky? Do we have large planets or large heavenly bodies like really close and somehow the government has found a way to block them out? Oh, that's saying a lot. Doesn't even sound possible. But then when you look at, what's happening around the world and you look at, some of these strange mysteries, I call them sky mysteries. These lights and these giant orbs or what seems to be, I would like to say planets, man, because if you just imagine the size of a planet, just out there in space, but, just close enough. It's just mind boggling. Especially because of the clouds, and the clouds are like the biggest clue. Like if you look at the clouds and you look at how they move, and you look at the atmosphere, just look up and you just say that it just seems a little bit different than I remember. And it seems like, some clouds are not even a part of the same atmosphere. And that's what I'm trying to point out to people. But this show is not about the clouds. We do got shows coming up about the clouds and, their strange, mysterious movement. But this orb that was shining tonight, the blue orb, or the blue planet, or blue UFO, or whatever you want to call it, it was just something up there. And it was up there a long time. It's not up there now. I mean, we can't photograph it at this moment. I mean, I don't know where it's at. But it's crazy because the clouds moved one way and they cleared the sky, right? And then less than 10 to 20 minutes later, another row of clouds move in, but going in the opposite direction and completely covered up the part of the sky that, we was watching. It was clear, So, man, it is so weird, man, these clouds. So, man. Leave a comment in the comment box. Tell me what you think it is. There's something up there. It's blue. You can see it in the clouds. We'll post some pictures up on Facebook as well as on Twitter. And, you can just give your opinion. Is it a UFO? Is it a planet? Is it just some burning gas? Oh, man, I don't know. But I do know that every time we look up, we see something that, demands our attention. This is no different. So thanks for joining us. You've been listening to Dark Skies News and Information Podcast. I'm your host, L.C. Grays. The whole team is here. We're out and more to come. So if you want to see some other pictures, we're going to post some of them up on Twitter. And wow, the sky. Just don't get no weirder. Dark Skies. I'm out.